Hello YouTube and welcome to episode 44 of the Rise of Icelandic Football here with HK. It is Damien as always, and not a planned episode, but an episode that I reckon needs to be done and discussed and fought over. And what do you guys think? It would be nice to know whenever you watch this back. It could be 10 years later down the track. Doubt it's going to be 10 years, but you know, you may have found this episode a year later and watched it. You might watch it tomorrow when it comes out. Well, comes out tonight, you know, my time. Maybe watch it 6 hours after the episode's uploaded. I will make the decision myself in the episode. I've mulled over it a little bit, just had a shower, thought about it in the shower, come out of the shower, still stared at the screen, don't know really what to do. But Stephen, yes, Stephen, who we talked about last 2 episodes ago about wanting to sell, and talked about last episode staying, happy to stay, signing a 5-year contract because we never got a bid of this big, and now we do. So as we can see here, Stephen's got a 22.5 mil bid, you know, accepted. That can increase to 32. The highest fee we ever received was Silvio Regnoli for 12 mil, who's actually now on a free transfer after just leaving Fiorentina. Before you guys ask, don't worry, he doesn't want to come. We're still part of his favourite personnel, and we still have Guerra's still part of his favourite things, but you know, I think he's off to Juve on a free, doing an Emre Can in real life, just hold it out and didn't want to sign a new contract at Fiorentina. As always, our president in charge, El Presidente of Magnus, has accepted, but we can obviously protest if we wanted to. I want to talk about the offer itself before we actually decide to maybe protest. He's worth 10 mil at the moment. I've chucked the 90 mil asking price on him, and the board actually come in and said, no, this offer's too good. And for once I actually agree with the board. I feel like if to get 22 mil for a player that is right now 22, he's probably got a year or two left of growth, and he's very good, don't get me wrong, but for 22 mil you might be able to get a better wonder kid who's got better potential. I feel like for an Icelandic club to reject 22 mil here is absurd, right? And you're getting a guaranteed 18 mil with 4.3, so you're getting a guaranteed 22.5 mil basically up front. He is going to play 20 games for Serbia. I'm pretty sure. Don't be Croatian, or else everyone will go off at me. 22 games for Serbia, right? He will definitely go and play that. So if we go back to the transfer offer, we're definitely going to get another 3.2 mil, which obviously then would rise that up to like 25 and a bit. So you're getting a guaranteed 25. It's just the big one is, will they actually get 6.5 mil over 50 games? He may or may not play 50 games for Atletico. He's obviously also interested in Barca. Now, there's a couple of things we can do here. Is we can either protest, tell the board we don't want to sell, the board either tell us yes or no. You're right. More than likely, usually when you protest, they'll say we agree, and they don't sell. He becomes unhappy again, but we do have 5 years to sell him before we have to, and we probably won't lose money on him. We might never get 22 mil if he's really unhappy, but at the same time, we probably would get 22 mil if he's in good form. I feel like that value will never decrease, even if we, you know, even if he was unhappy, it still wouldn't decrease because he's going to grow. At 22, still got growth according to, well, apparently not, but trust me, there's some growth there. Yeah, everyone knows how Football Manager works. So we can protest the transfer. We can either leave it, right, and we know about the glitch, and we can probably reject it because we've seen it happen before, where you can reject it after the board's already suggested the players started discussing terms. It's weird. Never seen that before. We can either obviously let it happen as well, and we just profit the money, which is great, and we just try and figure out what other system we go to. The likes of maybe we go back to the 4-2-3-1, which could work, and then you play Bartra and Pereira. You wouldn't actually play Goodison at the moment either. You'd probably play Callis. Callis has been sensational. It was Wonder Kid until yesterday. I don't know why. He's currently still at the World Cup playing for Australia. The World Cup's currently on, and he's playing sensationally in the World Cup. Loving life at the club. He loves us. You know, he looks the goods, doesn't he? He's got way more potential to grow into at 19 as well than what Gunnarsson does. So you probably would play Callis over him as well. We can move to that. We're obviously going to click that back because obviously that hasn't happened. I do prefer the 4-for-3 DM, to be honest. The way it's been playing, watching games, maybe coming. We've got, I reckon, just a slightly better control of matches, playing on a normal tempo, not as stuck in, a little bit more mixed. Playing with a 6 kind of helps, even though he's playing as a Regista Pereira. I feel like he just cuts out a lot of stuff. We haven't played in Europe yet either. Obviously, we've got qualifying coming up soon. So we could let it happen and then make our way out of it. We obviously got Brian, Bojan, and Tati, the South African. We got a lot of midfielders still at the club as well. Cullis could play in the midfield. At centre mid as a Mazzala and play it very well. So we've got a lot of midfielders where if we sold him, we wouldn't be in immediate trouble. We had to sign someone, and we can't sign anyone until October because of our way the transfer window works here in Iceland. I'm pretty sure when outside of our transfer window. Going to make sure, but I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure. So yeah, like May 15th, and it doesn't open like so July 15th to August the 1st of 2026. So it actually is about to open back up. We can actually sign people for not even 4 weeks. So if we were to sell right now, we could technically rush in and buy someone, which could mean that we could think about it. By leaving this as well, right, and him starting to discuss terms, Barca could come in and then offer something ridiculous, right? They could offer 30 mil up front with like clauses and get it up to 40 mil, 50 mil, 60 mil, you know, name a price, right? If Barca really want Steven, they will come in and go over Atletico's head and really put it up. I'm very interested to see if that happens as well, obviously. I would love to protest it at the same time because I feel like the balance of the team is really good at the moment. I'm in a good spot with selections. Obviously, if we play Cullis, another foreign player. Just very interested to see. I'm in a crossroads. I would love to know what you guys would want to do. I feel like the best course of thing to do here is to let it go. Right, let it go in terms of protesting. We're not going to protest, and we'll see if Barca can come in and offer something huge. I just don't want to let it go. Then within a day, bang, he's gone, and like how it happened with Bonanine. But we've obviously had times with Flement and Stein where it's taken them a week to get over the deal, and then we've been able to reject it anyway as my phone goes off. About coaching, very, very, very tempted to let it go, and just to see if Barca want to give money. I would be open to selling Steven for the right price. It's 22.5 mil, potentially 32 the right price, probably. But knowing that Atletico have offered that, I would be very interested to see what Barca do. Let me know what you would have done. Is it mad that we're actually thinking of selling a player like this? He's obviously very, very, very good, right? I'm going to mute my phone. Coaching's coaching. Real life coaching. It always happens. Whenever I haven't received a message all night about coaching, and as soon as I turn the YouTube episode on, we're going to get notifications. I'm going to let it go. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure we don't have KR today. If we do, we're just going to skip it out because no one wants to see that. Looks like we haven't played the KR game yet. There we go. Forgot if we have. We haven't. So what we're going to do here, ladies and gentlemen, is this is going to be part one. We're going to skip the KR game, and we're going to let you know if something else has happened in the meantime. I will come back with more information about Steven and see what happens. If we do sell Steven, we'll go probably have a scout to see if we can find someone better, or find someone to come in and play the same role. Or if not, we might just see maybe if Cullis, when he comes back from the World Cup, fits the role perfectly, and we'll just continue forward from there. I'll be back in a second though, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. This is another episode from HK with Damien. This is going to heat up very quickly, I feel. Welcome back, everybody. Nothing's happened with Steven just yet. The offer's still chilling. We can technically reject it right now if we wanted to. Apparently not. I thought we could. Chance offer. Apparently we can't reject it right now, but that's really strange. That's okay. Never mind. It was read before that we could reject it. Maybe they might actually do a contract offer. It doesn't really matter. The main reason I'm here is this is the sort of offers we're getting for Gleason, right? And he's growing sensationally, the little left back. But as we can see, we're going to reject that. He's going to be Icelandic through and through. So he doesn't really even want to talk to Crystal Palace. Just important to see this sort of progress that Gleason's making. And when you're rejecting bids that are worth 8.5 mil, 7 mil up front, the player's got some potential about him for sure if the game thinks that as well. Important to know. I'll let you know if anything happens with Steven in the near future. I'm still waiting for Barca to see if Barca really want to do anything, but we'll wait and we'll see. And I'll be back as soon as any news comes up. Welcome back. Just played a couple games ahead. And Juve out of nowhere have decided to come in now for a bid for Steven. If we go to the offers, it's now saying that we can reject the offers obviously at the moment for Atletico and Juve. But if we compare both, let me click on it. It was obviously 18 mil. 32 mil total, 4.3, probably a guaranteed 3.2, and then dependent on the 6.5. Juve have just gone and up that, really. They've gone 24 and then 7.5 with 3.7 guaranteed. That's an offer that I don't mind from Juve. Both Juve and Atletico interested. Barca seem to have waned off. 42 mil asking price. If I'm going to go to transfer status, I'm actually going to increase that now. I'm going to ask for maybe about 60. No, you know what? Screw it, 60. We're just going to ask for 60 and keep no status and see what happens between those two. I'm very tempted to go and reject the offer right now, both of those offers, and see if they, will then come back with bigger offers. By rejecting both offers, I'm pretty sure Stephen wouldn't get too upset. But we'll wait and we'll see. I'll be back with more information in the future. I want to see if he gets into contract talks and actually will leave. I don't think he will. For that anyway. Look, I've seen this happen before, and then the contracts just sit there, and then it does that until you reject them. I've seen obviously with Bonanini where they go through. It's a very weird glitch, this one here. I want to see if another club comes in and actually offers big money. Maybe a third club comes around. Maybe Barca come back. Madrid come in. We reject both their offers, and then Juve or Atletico come back in for about 45, 50, 60 mil up front. I'll be very interested to see what will happen. But in terms of what will happen, we'll see next time. In the next little cut. We're going to cut the episode there, not the actual episode, we're going to cut this little piece here, and I'll be back with more information on Stephen in the future. What would you do? Would you be happy to let him go there for 42.5 mil total? I feel like it's a very acceptable offer, and I feel like the board's actually done well for once in their lives in terms of trying to sell players. But you let me know in the comments below what you would have done. I'll be back with more information in just a second. Welcome back. We're waiting for Stephen news. And what I've done with Stephen, I've actually rejected the offers now. I want to see if actually they come back in and try to bid 60. But after we've done that, the board has accepted this for Filipov, and we can protest it, and I think I will, right? Filipov has a minimum fee release of 45 mil, and unless someone meets that 45 mil, he's not going anywhere. 22 mil up front though, 6.5 mil, 20, just 28, over 30 mil once all the clauses are met. Which they will. He's wanted by quite a lot of clubs, is Filipov. I just don't think he'll play 50 games for Leverkusen. Oh, you know what? He might. He's a star player. He's great for us. I feel like that's too good to not protest. So we are going to protest this one here. We would be extremely weakened, and they're obviously going to be cancelling it. Look, if we want to set a asking price, it's the 45 mil release fee, and if someone meets it, so be it. Then we obviously have Flamen, who's here, who's obviously quality enough, and then we can go buy another striker as well. If we could got 45 mil, that is for sure. Gleason obviously just signs a new contract as well as we sim through next day. Already worth 5.25 mil in today's market at 18. Usually means he's going to be quite good. Would you have accepted the offer for Filipov? This is now turning into just not a Steven episode, but a transfer saga episode. What is new in the life of HK? We're always looking to be rated in the new season of most European competition, or in our summer. We'll wait and see what happens in terms of what happens with Filipov now and Steven, and I'll let you know any more information when it comes about. But until that comes about, I will cut the recording here and come back in with the next little part of episode 44. Don't go anywhere. More transfer drama coming up. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've gone through maybe 2 days. We now get an offer from Dortmund for Filipov. We obviously get the chance to accept or reject it. This one's 22 mil with 5.75 with only 4.3. So probably not as good as the offer that was accepted by the board. With 8.75 mil if he plays the 50 games. This is getting up towards that 45 mil release fee. If this was a negotiable offer from Dortmund, I would actually just get rid of all that and then just say 45 mil, yes, no, lock it in. If they say yes, so be it, we cry, but we make 45 mil for a player that we signed for what, 4.5 mil? It's quite a good profit. Obviously, if they come back and say, no, we don't want that, we keep him. And I'm very happy with that as well, the Bulgarian. I would be tempted to try and sell, not try and sell, but try and get him on a new contract, see if we can get that release fee up to like 60 mil, and then really hold him to ransom, see how much money we can make. Fortunately, a sell-on clause is here for Filipov. I really wouldn't mind getting rid of it if we can. Filipov. Can we? Anyone else see his name here? I don't see his name here. Tito1, Zepes. I don't see his name here. Usually you can set out the fees, I'm pretty sure. Like we do have a fee on like Revi. 40%. Okay, so apparently you can't sign it out. Would have been nice too. Something to look at him. But we're going to reject it and tell him he's indispensable to the club. We'll see if he arcs up just after this. Doesn't look like he has just yet. We'll wait and see after the draw. So as you can see, the draw. A lot of money being flown around everywhere for a lot of players at the moment. Don't worry that we're not first in the league. We have got games in hand. We've got, we're 1 point behind. We've got 4 games in hand. So don't worry about that when you're simming there. This is why Callis has been sensational. He keeps on growing and growing and growing as well, the Australian. But yeah, doesn't look like anything else on Filipov's come up. Look, if we get an offer for Steven or for Filipov, I'll let you know, and we'll come back to that. If not, we're just going to keep continuing forward simming games until the transfer saga seems to have died down and we get a conclusion as to what will happen this transfer period for the life of HK. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. There'll be more transfer news coming up very, very shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 44. We've gone through quite a few days. I'm pretty sure I just have to respond to an offer for Stein first. Yes, we do. So we're up to the 16th of July. In terms of what's happened so far, is we've just simmed a lot, and there's been a lot of clubs are interested, but no offers made. Champions League games are going to start coming up as well. I obviously want to do them as YouTube episodes. So if we just keep simming and then hit a Champions League game, this episode could be huge. So what I'm thinking is, because there's going to be Champions League games coming up, we've got like 3rd qualifying round because the league dropped off because we haven't got out of Europe. The group stage for a couple of years, so obviously other clubs with like smaller sides have, so their league grows and ours doesn't. We have got third stage games coming up. We've actually got HJK, who we beat convincingly a couple of years ago, back when we had to go back this far. So I think it's about 3 years ago. So we won't be doing that game on YouTube, but then obviously we've got the 4th qualifying game, which we will do on YouTube, which usually is in the back end of August. So hopefully we can recap the transfer drama then. Before we do end today's episode, it's worth to say that Cardozo is wanted by Napoli and Schalke, and they reckon bids of about 24 mil because he's just signed a new contract. Gleason's wanted by Napoli as well. There's a lot of clubs that want quite a few players. Obviously our backup centre defensive mid's getting quite a lot of interest, but we're not interested in selling. Schultze's got a bid as well at the moment, 5.75 mil for Leverkusen. He isn't going anywhere unless we get quite a big bid. I feel like Schultze is quite a good player. Robert is wanted, I think, on loan by a couple of sides. He just scored a hat-trick for us in the league coming back from injury. The 18-year-old looks sensational. Was quite happy at the club. I think the big ones that we have to clutch over is Steven obviously doesn't have those bids there. We've still got a 60 mil asking price for him. Atletico, Juve and Leverkusen all want him at the moment, and they're going to have to pay me that. But the big one that's just come up is Thomas Brata. Real Madrid is interested and very interested in him. I don't think he just wants to sign a new contract. I want Real Madrid quite simply just to not come in and not bid the release fee, which is 12.5 mil, because I would be absolutely fuming if that's what happens. Because he just signed a new contract, and obviously his last contract only had a 5.5 mil bid. I'm very worried that that will happen. What I'm hoping is that it's just interest from Madrid and they never bid. What I could do is then setting an asking price of maybe about 11 mil, which is just under it. And so when teams keep betting 11, we just keep rejecting, and then they keep bidding 11 because that's the asking price and not bidding the 12.5 mil. So there's a way around it like that as well. Flamen's wanted by a whole heap of clubs as well, and so is Maruta isn't. We're trying to sell Magnuson on as well, and Lotvat's actually wanted by quite a few clubs as well. So busy transfer period ahead. What we're going to do is we're going to save the game, and that's going to be the end of episode 44. Bit of a transfer drug special, just transfers everywhere that haven't happened. We're remaining strong. We're at HK. We want our players here to stay because we want to be the best club that we can be, and we want to win the Champions League. And all these players that are here at the moment have been brought in mind of trying to progress the save and trying to get us out of a group, grow the reps. We can go out buy better players, and all these players that who want to leave us can stay, like the Silva Ragnolis, yesteryear and stuff like that, where if they found a similar type of player, they would want to come to HK and stay at HK because we're a club competing at the highest level in Europe. That's going to be the end of episode 44. If you do like this sort of transfer episodes where it's all cut up, let me know in the comments below. I don't like doing them too much. I like doing all the transfers in one big hit. Just going through who came in, who came out. I know on stream a lot of people love watching me go scout through for transfers and looking at different players. It's a bit more different on stream than cutting it up for YouTube, because obviously it's not as interactive. So it's a lot of me sitting here waiting for something to happen, twiddling my thumbs before commentating over a piece of information. But if you do like these episodes, please do let me know in the comments. If you want to check me out on Twitch, obviously link in the description below. Follow me. We do stream HK Live quite a fair bit. Champions League every time we'll stream HK Live as well. But that's going to be an episode 44, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. This is from Damien, and goodbye.